Welcome back to A Year of Final Fantasy, and today is a big one. It's one of the most requested videos that I've had, and yes, people do actually watch this, and they do request videos. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is not necessarily Final Fantasy proper, but it's definitely tangentially related, and that obviously is Kingdom Hearts. Of course, this is a smash hit of a game, and it's a game that nobody knew that they wanted, but whenever they got it, holy crap, did we want all of it, more, as much as you can give us. So let's get right on into it. What is Kingdom Hearts exactly? Well, if you've lived under a rock for the past decade and a half, Kingdom Hearts is a simple concept at its core. If not completely off the wall, it is combining Final Fantasy, their universe, the property, everything like that, with the Disney universe, and bam, you get Kingdom Hearts. The creators of this project were Shinji Hashimoto and Tetsuya Nomura, which in this case was what shot Nomura into the spotlight, the starlight of fame of Final Fantasy, who still holds great sway over the franchise until this day, for better or for worse. Originally, this game came out on the PlayStation 2 on March 28, 2002 in Japan, and later on in North America. It was released on September 17, 2002, and what's even crazier, with a bit more content that wasn't even in the Japanese version. However, later on, it was re-released on December 26, 2002 with this extra content in Japan, which is known as the final mixed version, with all the additional items and enemies and stuff like that we got in America. And yes, if you were following that, which don't worry if you aren't, there were two versions of this game that came out within the same year in Japan. I cannot stress to you how, don't take this the wrong way, but insane this fan base is. And that's, again, not a negative or anything. It's just, holy crap, the fan base for Kingdom Hearts is intense. It's insane. Kingdom Hearts is a self-contained game, and I say that kind of with tongue in cheek, because the premise itself is so wide-spanning. But Kingdom Hearts itself is a world completely unto its own, specifically focused mostly on Disney IP. However, the characters are a mix of Disney and Final Fantasy, but it has quite more focus on Disney than it does with anything else really in the Square Enix kind of properties, which isn't a good or a bad thing, it's just what it is, it's just a thing. The story can get incredibly insane, and I'm glad that I don't talk about stories in these videos, because honestly, I'll tell you right now, there are people out there that have just completely unraveled this story with theories, and just, it blows my mind, even more than like Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger. But anyway, the story on a basic level, and I'll just say that, is that there are these different worlds, these different realms, mostly, again, of Disney origin, but some of them are a little bit new, and they're being invaded by what are known as these Heartless. Think, I don't know, like a PG version of a demon, like a Disney demon. And there's a cabal of evil from the various Disney movies, all the evil guys, and they get together and there's stuff that happens, I'll just say that. And even some of them retaining a lot of the voices from the movies themselves, which is really, really cool. And actually, I'm going to go over some of the voices and their characters now, and your mind is probably going to be blown just by the star power behind all of this. First off, we have Haley Joel Osment as Sora. You know Haley Joel Osment from The Sixth Sense. Most people know that. David Gallagher of Seventh Heaven fame, if you've ever watched that show that was on in the late 90s. He plays Riku. And Hayden Panettiere, sorry if I said that wrong, from Heroes, as Kyrie, with some other voice actors like Billy Zane. If you don't know who Billy Zane is, he's the bad guy from Titanic, as well as a lot of other different stuff. We have David Boreanaz from Buffy, Angel, Bones. There's an entire episode kind of tangentially dedicated to him from BoJack Horseman, one of my favorite shows ever. He plays Squall. We have Mandy Moore from Tangled. She plays Kyrie. We have D. Bradley Baker from literally any animated thing ever in the past decade. He plays Waka. We have Lance Bass. Or is it Bass? I think it's Bass. Sorry if I mispronounced that. He is from NSYNC, and he plays Sephiroth. In fact, he's played Sephiroth in anything that Sephiroth has been in since like Advent Children, I believe. And we've also had Sean Astin of Goonies, and personally my favorite, Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings as Hercules. Most recently, he appeared on Stranger Things. We have Dan Castellaneta here, aka Homer from The Simpsons, voicing the genie. They didn't get Robin Williams back, but Dan Castellaneta does a fantastic job of having that genie voice. The list goes on and on and on, and my personal favorite, honestly, is James Woods here, as returning to the voice of Hades, probably my all-time favorite Disney villain, because James Woods is just fun to listen to. I just love Hades. I like James Woods, and I don't know, it's great. I probably could have made an entire video on the voice acting. There are so many good voice actors, high quality, high-paid voice actors, superstardom voice actors. Anyway, let's move on a little bit. We have our new main characters, which I previously mentioned before. We have Sora, Riku, and Kairi, who the story kind of revolves around, although the main character specifically that you can take control of in this instance is Sora. and Goofy and Donald Duck are by your side and they go on all these adventures with you. So you got kind of a new character, sort of a Final Fantasy-esque character in Sora, and then you have the Disney mainstays Goofy, Donald. You don't have Mickey because he plays another bigger role in this. As you can imagine, he's, you know, the flagship character of Disney, so he's relegated to some other things. Here, the game is an action RPG. There's no real turn-based mechanics like you see in a Final Fantasy game, though many names, especially things like magic, do turn up here from Final Fantasy, stuff like fire, Fira, that kind of thing. And your main weapon is actually known as the Keyblade, it's just a completely ineffectual weapon. Like, there's no reason anyone would fight with this Keyblade. Come on now. It does take out the Heartless, so maybe, you know, it has that going for it. And honestly, all right, as much as I make fun of it, the Keyblade is pretty cool in a stylish sense. And in video games, I mean, that's what matters, right? Like, you've got stylish over practical, and yeah, Keyblade is pretty cool, and it really does have a story kind of impact to this Keyblade, but we haven't gone into the story very much, and I don't intend to. So the game plays out in an action-adventure, real-time type of deal, and you go to a bunch of brightly colored worlds, I guess, would be the best way. Essentially what's happening is you're jumping from one Disney franchise to the next, trying to stave off these Heartless. We're including, but not limited to, worlds such as the Alice in Wonderland world, Tarzan, Hercules, Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, and many, many more, along with some new areas that were specifically made for the Kingdom Hearts games like Traverse Town and the Destiny Islands, which you start off at the beginning. This game is also the first one, at least as far as I know, that actually solidified the fact that Aerith from Final Fantasy VII is now called Aerith in English because they mistranslated the game, and I'm going to be completely honest, I hate it. I do not call Aerith because that sounds like somebody has a speech impediment, and I know I probably have a little bit of one, but Aerith is something that I just completely avoid. I know it's right. I don't even care if I'm wrong. It's always going to be Aerith to me. Sorry. It's just what it is. So, all right, let's get into the little reasons why or even how this game existed. This super two mighty industries colliding together, this shouldn't exist. I mean, let's think about it. But anyway, as the legend goes, we indirectly have Nintendo to thank for this whole crazy Kingdom Hearts project. Apparently Hironobu Sakaguchi and Shinji Hashimoto were talking about Super Mario 64 at this time, and they wanted to make a 3D full roaming kind of game, but they wanted to do it right, and to appeal to mass audiences, both of them agreed that only in a world with characters as popular as those from Disney could rival that of Mario. So they didn't want to do anything, for lack of a better word, half-assed. You know, they wanted something that they could really bank on, and pretty much the only thing that's going to rival a Mario 64 game is something from Disney, something that everyone knows and loves. And apparently Tetsuya Nomura overheard this conversation, and he agreed to take up the project, assuming that obviously it could get off the ground. And at that point, the stars aligned, or some kind of weird, crazy miracle of nature occurred, because a meeting with Shinji Hashimoto and a Disney upper management executive took place in an elevator ride, because they were actually sharing both in Japan Disney headquarters, and at that particular time Square was also in the same building. So Shinji Hashimoto and the Disney upper management executive took an elevator ride by chance, allowing them to pitch the idea directly to Disney. And as you can imagine, on and on, back and forth with many deals, many negotiations, give and take and all of that. But finally, again, probably by some miracle, we got Kingdom Hearts, a game that no one knew that they wanted, but once it came out, it was immediate hit success with a rabid fan base, and well, the rest is history, as they say. So if you're interested in Kingdom Hearts, and for some reason you haven't played it yet, you can find it on the PlayStation 3 and more recently on the PlayStation 4, which they've released these Kingdom Hearts compilations. They call it like 1.5, 2.5, I think they even have a 2.8. I would suggest you pick up the PlayStation 4 1.5 plus 2.5 remix, which is going to give you basically the majority of all of the games ever released, as we wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 to finally come out nearly 2 entire decades later. Along with Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? So, all right, that's a big episode for today. And at this point, I've not actually decided if I'm going to do any more Kingdom Hearts episodes. If you want me to do another Kingdom Hearts episode, let me know. I will probably at least do Kingdom Hearts 2 in the future, for sure. But outside of that, I've not decided one way or another if I'm going to do all the other spin-off games, because despite the fact that we're still waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, there have been so many more Kingdom Hearts games. There's been Kingdom Hearts manga. There's been everything Kingdom Hearts except Kingdom Hearts 3 so far. So let me know if you want me to do maybe another video over those. I could possibly just kind of combine all the games into one video. because the series is actually incredibly, incredibly important to Final Fantasy and its direction, which is specifically tied up with Nomura's involvement with both of those. But that's all today, so thank you very much for watching and sharing this around, commenting, subbing, all that good stuff, as anything, even just any kind of interaction helps this microscopically small channel grow into something that, I love and adore and can be proud of. But as always, until next time, Crystal Warriors keep on gaming.